evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Liz Chaplin, and I live at 5623 Pershing Avenue, Downers Grove. As you know, myself and my neighbors have been in attendance at various council meetings to express our concerns with regard to the proposed Walgreens at the corner of 63rd Street and Woodward Avenue. Tonight you will hear from many of my neighbors. When you're listening to them, I would ask that you please keep in mind their comments and how they relate to the village's comprehensive plan. As stated numerous times before, the village recently adopted this comprehensive plan. The plan was authored by experts in the field. The plan took much time, thought, and taxpayer dollars. The comprehensive plan has several classifications for commercial use: neighborhood commercial, downtown mixed use, and low intensity office. As you know, the corner of 63rd and Woodward's land use classification is low intensity office. Walgreens does not belong on that corner. In 2007 and 2008, the village was petitioned for a Starbucks at the corner of 63rd and Leonard. 63rd and Leonard and 63rd and Woodward have many of the same characteristics. The major difference is that 63rd and Leonard is incorporated while 63rd and Woodward is unincorporated. But other than that, these areas are almost identical. These areas are both corner properties. To the south of them is commercial. To the north is residential properties and residential streets. The residents in 2007 and 2008 shared the same concerns as myself and my neighbors are expressing tonight, and as have we expressed before. The Plan Commission in 2007 unanimously denied the petitioner's request to build the Starbucks on the corner of 63rd and Leonard. The Plan Commission expressed concerns that a Starbucks at that corner would alter the characteristics of that neighborhood. The Plan Commission has been consistent in their judgment of projects such as these, because they also denied by a 7-to-1 vote the Walgreens at the corner of 63rd and Woodward Avenue for not complying with the comprehensive plan and that it would alter the characteristic of our neighborhood. Also back in 2008, reviewing the material in the packet, I read a statement from then Mayor Sandak regarding comprehensive plan, and he had stated that the comprehensive plan is a bedrock legal document upon which planning develops. The village has not had one since the 1960s. Staff has initiated the process for a comprehensive plan, and the village will move ahead on that. Also back in that same time frame, I'm going to take a quote from then Commissioner Tully, who is now our mayor. And it was with regards to the Starbucks, and you were stating that this is a classic example of why the village needs to have a comprehensive plan. The future land use map shows this area as residential, yet that doesn't mean someone can't come before the council and request a change. That is what the petitioner is doing. Even if something is prohibited, a change can be requested. With the comprehensive plan, everyone, including residents and future developers, could look at that plan and see what is intended for a specific area. So with that last sentence, everyone, including residents and future developers, can look at the plan and see what is intended for a specific area. I would encourage you all, again, to look at the comprehensive plan. It clearly states the corner of 63rd and Woodward is low intensity office. Walgreens does not fit the low intensity office use. So I would expect nothing other than a denial when this comes before the board, be it in April, May, June, July, 2012, 13, 14, whenever it comes before the board. I would hope that it would be denied based on that. So thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here. Good evening, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'm going to be brief. Try to be brief.
Would you mind sharing your name and address with us, sir?
Yes, my name is Ricardo Castaneda, and I live at 6208 Woodward.
Thank you. Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, all of us know that you and your staff have many duties, and I respect that. We are aware that you have seen many of us come before you time after time. This will be my third time here. I'm getting familiar where everything is. And we are aware that all of us are trying to express our feelings about what's happening on the street of Woodward. I'm one of the ones that's more affected for this project that wants to come into our neighborhood. I live right in the middle of the street, and I see every day more cars are coming through there, which is normal because everybody's taking the underground passage from Belmont and the metro station. Everybody's looking for shortcuts. But I think you've heard all of our neighbors, our residents from that area. We see it that it doesn't fit. We see the problems that are going to happen. We have problems now that are along the line is going to affect us. The last time I was here, I talked about necessities. A necessity is something that when somebody needs it, you have to give it to them and you have to fix it. If they don't have it, then give it to them. If you, Mr. Mayor, and your staff, your commissioners were involved in bringing forward the recreational center on Belmont, all of you deserve kudos. It's a fantastic project, and I applaud. We need that kind of necessity, something for the community, something for the neighborhood, something for the children, for the senior citizens. If you and your staff were involved in the Belmont underpass, I also congratulate all of you, or whoever took part in making that come true. That's a great necessity. Thanks to that, nobody will be late for work in the morning.
I somehow managed to anyway, but we'll take some credit for the Belmont underpass, but with respect to the rec center,
I think
we'll
we're-
pass along those compliments to the park district.
I think where everything is due, we should acknowledge what you and your staff are up against. And these decisions are hard. I understand they're hard. Sometimes, as a parent, we make hard decisions for our kids. But I'm asking you, Mr. Mayor, and your commissioners, to not let this project go through. My neighbors and myself, we feel that somebody has to protect our privacy. We see this as an invasion of our privacy. We don't make the type of money that Walgreens makes, and they can move mountains. Yes, we're here protesting. That's the only thing that we can do. Legally, democratically, we have to protest. And I'm asking you personally, Mr. Mayor, think of our privacy and protect it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here tonight. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome back.
Thank you. You remember me, huh? My name is Patty Gruber, and I live at 6216 Pershing. And tonight I would like to present to Council for your review and record the latest signatures from our written petition. And as of this afternoon, we had 470 signatures. I also would like to present to Council the latest names and comments from our online petition. As of yesterday afternoon, we had 193 names. I would like to add that our petition against Walgreens is not unique. If you search neighborhood protests against Walgreens on the internet, you will find article after article of neighborhoods across the state as well as across the country petitioning their village to reject similar proposals. Walgreens and other box stores are threatening the dynamics of neighborhoods under the guise of progress and necessity. But this is neither progress nor necessity. Progress is paving roads, installing streetlights, connecting to clean water when your wells have been contaminated, building schools and parks and recreational areas for the community. All of these things make your community safer and more desirable. Building the 12th Walgreens within miles of this area, 4 miles of this area, is not progress or necessity. If Walgreens doesn't build here, the community doesn't suffer. A few weeks ago, I asked council to not sell out our neighborhood for some tax revenue. I also attended coffee with the mayor and council, and a fellow neighbor mentioned that money might be a motivation. We were reassured that day by council that if this were about money, it would have been approved weeks ago. I also heard a couple weeks ago on February 21st at the council meeting that the state of the village is sound, with a budget amendment balance in excess of $16.7 million. So being a bit naive and gullible, or just plain trustworthy, I want to believe that the village is not motivated by economic opportunity when it comes to Walgreens' proposal. In closing, I have also heard from council that you can't tell a business where to build their store, just like you can't tell me or anyone else where to build our home. But you can tell Walgreens where they can't build. And I'm asking that you do just that when it comes time to vote on this matter. I ask that you follow the comprehensive future land plan. I've heard it's just a guide, but you spent years and thousands of dollars to have it drawn up by experts in the field of planning and development. I ask that you follow the advisement of your own planning commission, who voted almost unanimously, 7-1, to reject Walgreens' proposal because it doesn't fit the area. And finally, that you listen to the sentiment of hundreds of people who have voiced their concerns over the last 5 weeks, either in person or through our petition. I ask tonight that when you do vote on this Walgreens proposal, that you deny their request to build at 63rd and Woodward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gruber.
Did you want these internet?
Oh, please, yes, thank you, by all means. Just one quick comment on that, and obviously we're not going to be voting on this tonight or even discussing it tonight, but as was indicated when Mr. Casa shared his good news about bringing businesses to town, obviously economic development is a very high priority in this town. It should be a high priority for all residents because those revenue streams can supplement property taxes and help keep those down. So yes, economic development is very important. We want to encourage that, and we do want to create an environment that attracts businesses, because if everybody who opposed to Walgreens was successful, we wouldn't have any Walgreens.
I do understand.
And obviously, they have to go somewhere, and you're right. We try to create an environment that facilitates good economic development. Yes, we try to lay out rules about what should go where and what it ought to look like, and respecting property rights, of course, because you have a right to construct your home as long as it's within the framework that's allowed. And obviously, what we're all struggling with, as the residents are does this fit within that framework or not, or are there changes that can be made that would make it fit? This isn't something that the village is building. This is something that a petitioner, a property owner, has come to us seeking fair treatment just like any other property owner. And obviously, we're doing the best we can to try to take into account all the various issues. And I think you said it yourself, if this was something that was just going to go be jammed right through, this wouldn't have been the second or third time that it's been postponed, because people are in good faith actually looking at it very closely. So
And I
your
do
comments are
believe
greatly
that.
appreciated, but I did have to make that point about, obviously, economic development is a big priority, not at all costs, but it is a priority.
And I do understand that. However, you're still going to be getting revenue from the Walgreens that's on 63rd and Belmont. They still have a 2-year lease there, and I'm sure within 2 years, this Walgreens could find a better fit, one that would be conducive to them and also residents.
Sure, but I want to point out is that's a factor, it's not the factor.
And, I lost my train of thought, but, okay, thank you.
My plan worked, as you
It
know.
did.
Thank you very much for being here
Quiet.
tonight. Good to see you again. Appreciate all your comments and for sharing that information with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I've seen you twice in one day.
Yes, this is twice today, and I'm on more than 2 cups of coffee.
In
but-
2 different places?
In 2 different places, but it's not working.
Good.
My name is Michelle Shelley, I'm at 62.
Welcome.
What?
Welcome.
Oh, hi. 6215 Pershing Avenue in Downers Grove. Before I get started on the stuff I have, I went online to find, it kind of bothered me about the traffic report that there wasn't any weather. So I went on and I found it, and it does say that there was rain, it said rain and or melting snow during the day, and it gives how much snow we had and the wind, so I didn't know if you wanted, it would explain why people weren't out, walking around and, walking to school, and how much snow did we have? 1.20 inches of snow, and then if it's melting, oh, got that for you. Just seemed weird.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Then this morning, do you have the soil report that I said this morning? I mean, I'll say the number and everything, but I didn't know if you guys had the Kane DuPage Soil and Water Conservation District LUP report number 11-048, if you guys have gotten that yet. No?
I don't think my colleagues have had the benefit of it yet. You're referring
Well, I didn't
to
know
a
if you-
report. Yes, well, I
Yes.
hadn't had a chance to share it with them yet. That was
Okay.
something you
Well,
shared
I
with
didn't
the
know
DuPage
if-
County Stormwater Committee this morning. Feel free to share it, although only because I heard it once. If you could try to fit it into 5 minutes, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Was it longer than 5 minutes? I tried to.
It was very engaging and informative, though, so
Okay.
I'm not being critical.
Okay, well, we'll start out with the stormwater, and this is taken directly from the report. The proposed removal of vegetation, compaction of soil, in addition of impervious surfaces, rooftops and roadways, etc., will greatly increase the amount of stormwater runoff generated on this site. We strongly recommend the use of the on-site stormwater management. All additional runoff should be retained on an on-site detention ponds and released at a rate that approximates natural, undisturbed runoff conditions. The SWCD encourages the use of .10 CFS. Now, I was told that the report that you had, that they gave you, was not right, which doesn't make any sense if they put it in your packet. The Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, because they have the runoff at 1.01, which is 1,000 times the amount. But I was told this morning that that wasn't accurate, so I don't know why they would put it in there and not say, example on it, that it wasn't what you were, real numbers. So I don't know what to make about that. Also, their idea for small commercial buildings are structures that are less than 3 stories high and do not have basements. The foundation is assumed to consist of spread footings of reinforced concrete built on undisturbed soil at the depth of 2 feet or at the depth of maximum frost penetration, which is ever deeper. Now, this is what they said that they're using. So I know what a basement is, and you can go in it, but this is supposed to be under the building, right? So how is it going to be undisturbed soil if this is underneath the building? So that was my question there. And then they have the very limited soil indicates that the soil has 1 or more features that are unfavorable to the specific use. The limitations generally cannot be overcome without major soil reclamation, specially designed or expensive installation procedures. Poor performance and high maintenance can be expected. They also want to make sure that you keep as many woodlands as you can. That would be on page 10. And it says, the SWCD encourages preserving as much of the wooded character of this site as possible. Long-term preservation of the trees will require taking certain precautions during and after construction. And now, for the soil. They have, the soil is very limiting, and it says there's a definition for it too. The site contains the following concerns: 1, soil limitations; 2, soil erosion; 3, sediment control; 4, stormwater management. Based on the information in this report, it is the opinion of the Kane County DuPage Soil and Water Conservation District Board that this site is not suited, and they have it in red, for the proposed use unless, which is in black bold, the previous mentioned concerns are addressed. Now, there's a stream, Prentice, which it's like what, a quarter mile away, and we also have unnamed wetlands, which are in and around 330 feet from the proposed site. Just make sure that I have everything. Oh, and the soil in the area is classified as 854B, which has a low soil strength and is also has severe frost leaf limitations for roads and foundations. Oh, and I know that it's not a floodplain, it's listed that it isn't, but we have a very high water table, And it does say that any indication of flooding potential can be found in the soil information. So they're saying this function includes the temporary storage and slow release of floodwaters. The disturbance could adversely affect other properties in the watershed. And we went ahead, these were pictures taken of the properties when I'm talking about the unnamed flood. These were taken a few days ago. And then I took some myself, which you can have, which were taken on the 12th of December. And you can see how much water is there. And we ask that when you vote on this, whenever it may be, that you deny without prejudice. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments and thank you for sharing that information.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor. How are you doing tonight?
Splendid, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Don Weiss. I live at 7050 Newport Drive in Woodridge. I am the son of Helen Weiss, the owner of the property at 6298 Woodward Avenue. Now, I understand, Mayor, that you work for a law firm in litigation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, then I would ask, out of courtesy, that this board take this matter off call indefinitely in respect to the litigation I have in the Circuit Court of DuPage County. It has been filed. There is a set process. We would pass it over to the mayor, top one to the mayor, the rest of his board members. It's been filed. There is a court date set. There are several state agencies questioning things. They are speaking up. They are investigating matters and interviewing people at present. So I'm asking, courtesy of the mayor of Downers Grove, along with every person sitting up there, put yourself in my shoes. If this was your mother that was being ripped off, being financially exploited, what would you do? I'm asking for the courtesy that you would expect to be given to you, as you are now, to put this matter off call or deny it without prejudice until my litigation is over. I will be more than glad to inform the mayor as far as where it ends. It is scheduled for May 14th at 1:30 in the afternoon, and my mother is still not been declared incompetent. The package that you're receiving there is a due process by state law, and the forms are also included in there for DuPage County. Now, there is no bypassing the law. There is no way of getting around it. And there's a lot of questions. So I am asking, Mr. Mayor, City Council, take it off call indefinitely until my litigation is resolved in a court of law.
Well, thank you for sharing that concern, sir. I know you explained to us before that there may be a legal matter that might have some bearing on this. Of course, we're not involved in that
I
dispute.
fully understand that, but
There's a court of, excuse me, sir, there's a court of law that's dealing with the issue, and all we're doing is responding to a request from a petitioner according to our own rules. If some outside body were to direct the petitioner to act other than the way they're acting, that would be a different story. But we're not a court of law to sit in judgment with respect to your dispute.
But if I can interject one thing, I've been told by the village that the village attorney checked into this matter and everything is legal. Now, there is certain facts not in the file that the village attorney cannot get access to.
Right.
You have to be a litigant. You should know this.
Yes, yeah,
And
that's
so
exactly-
for your village attorney to say everything is legal is kind of putting the cart in front of the horse.
We're actually not passing judgment on one way or the other.
I understand that,
We're
but-
not involved in it, but my point is that we have an obligation to the petitioner who comes before us according to our rules to respond according to our rules. If a court in DuPage County were to direct the participants in this land use matter to act other than they currently are, then obviously we would respect that. But we cannot sit in adjudication of those issues. That is properly the jurisdiction of the Circuit Court of DuPage County.
But all parties are not included in this mix, Mayor.
I understand that, sir.
The mortgage company is not in
I
the mix.
understand that, but then there are mechanisms by which those people who are involved in the dispute can address those issues, and that's the appropriate forum to address it.
So in other words,
This is not that forum.
you cannot put this matter off call out of respect to the litigation that you yourself conduct.
Well, first of all, we're not conducting litigation.
No,
All
you
we
do
is-
that for a living.
What we do is when we get a request from a petitioner, whether it's somebody who wants to rezone property, or someone wants to build a shed in their backyard, or someone that wants to consolidate a lot with their neighbor, we have a set of rules, and we respond to requests from those petitioners in accordance with our rules and our procedures, and we need to respect that process. And we need to respect those individuals who expect us to timely respond to the request of how to use their property according to our rules.
All right.
We will operate within that framework. If there is a matter that is in litigation in the Circuit Court of DuPage County, and there are issues that that forum is going to adjudicate, it has the ability to control the parties involved in that litigation, and if those parties are also before us, then obviously they would be affected. So what I'm saying is that it sounds to me like those are issues that should be and need to be and probably have to be dealt with in that forum, and it sounds to me like there's a live piece of litigation, which is all the more reason why we need to respect that process.
Well, that's all I'm asking for. Put this
Well,
off
we
as
will,
a-
we will, if
Put
there's,
it off in the May.
well, right now, there's nothing for us to consider because the petitioner has requested to continue this matter till April 3rd, so right now, there's nothing for us to do.
So can I ask you one further question? If the developers are here, they make a request, they're granted. The people are sitting here objecting to the project,
no
make
request.
a request, we're denied.
Well, no request has been granted.
I just made a request, I just
You
made
asked me
it
to
put off until the end of May.
Sir, you asked me to take something off an agenda that's not on the agenda.
Take it
There's
off
nothing,
now.
there's nothing, I can't take something off what's not before me.
All right, I can see that this is going to be a push-through matter, and I'm going to push on the courts to expedite a sooner court date to get a court order blocking this. Because the court is, or this council right here, if it pushes it through, you are guilty of financial exploitation of a senior. Because the facts are out there. Your village attorney has seen the facts. They have checked the file. The developers are fully aware what's going on.
Sir, we understand the issue,
I am.
and I would encourage you to take it up with the court that's overseeing the
That I
matter.
intend to do. Thank you.
And obviously, we'll respect the direction of the court to the extent that it impacts this matter. Thank you for being here tonight. Welcome. No, one moment, sir.
Sure.
The photos that we were given of the flood areas, where were those taken from?
Do you have addresses that you can give to?
Yes, 6208 Woodward.
Well,
Thank
they were
you.
taken from, mine was taken, the one that says from Target, the little ones, those were taken from 6215 Pershing.
6215 Pershing for those who can't hear.
Oh, should I come up and see
Yeah.
it?
Toward Woodward?
The White House is mine.
Okay, that doesn't help me. Okay.
I was on my own property, the one that's very blurry is from the porch, and it was at 6215 Pershing Avenue, and I was facing north, so northeast, if you will. And then I walked down to the bottom, so it was definitely then just north. Okay?
Thank you for that clarification.
Thanks. Sure.
Yes, sir, thank you for your patience. Good evening.
My name is Guy Red Bronson. I live at 5904 Downers Drive. I'm the elected precinct committeeman for precinct 54, which runs on the east side of Woodward and along the south side of 63rd Street. I wanted to let you know I'm representing my constituents, and when I went down to tell them about this meeting tonight, on Sunday, the majority of them were against the Woodward Avenue Walgreens. Other than that, that's all I have to say.
Thank you for sharing that and speaking on behalf of your constituents.